So our project is called Integration of New Technologies to Enhance Student Learning within the Biological Sciences Foundation years. So what we worked on is that we did the research and found out about the Dunning-Kruger effect, which is also called an overconfidence bias. So what is overconfidence bias is that students go to the lecture, they listen to the lecturer, they think, okay, fine, we know all the material, all the pieces of work, go to the exam room, sit the exam, bam, they don't know nothing. And they fail the exam. What we think is that students think too much actually about the material and they can't actually memorize it properly. So what we worked on is that we use Tophat as our base software, and we use Tophat in order to help students revise properly and lecturers to actually interact and collaborate with students during their lectures and after the lecture is finished. So what we did is that we researched different types of questions, different sorts of quizzes, and we tried to shape revision in a more efficient, more technologically advanced way, and to make it quick, to make it successful, and to make it proper. So what we did is that we took examples of Biological Sciences Foundation year lectures. We took 2 lectures, and our strategy was to first of all, you have a first lecture of the module, for instance. You have few questions in the end of the lecture, just to make a quick recap, because we focused on the recap and focused on revision as well. Then on the next lecture, when you meet your lecturer in, for instance, 2 days, you have 2 questions in the beginning of the lecture, just to make a quick recap of the lecture, and for the lecturer themselves to actually know, okay, we have to revise this, 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 and I have to focus on this point and this point to actually explain it to students. In the end of the lecture, a lecturer can either have a homework material for the students or have a few questions in the end of the lecture, again, for a quick revision. Because students majorly have a retrospective interference, which is basically a thought that if you constantly repeat the material for a week, for instance, or for a month, you're actually more likely to remember it than if you just go through it on one day before the exam and that's it. So basically what we did, we created several questions and examples using the Tophat. So on your tablet, on your iPhone, or on your laptop, you can do it. Simply, it's an example of biological sciences, so you can press on the image, see the image of the question, you have different points like A, B, C, D, etc. You can screenshot again and see the question. This is an example of a question which is called a matching question. So you have to match the letters from the diagram with the answers. Simply press on here and change the position. Simply press on here and change the position, and that's it. Then you can simply submit it. Takes 2 seconds, then the lecturer can actually see what you've answered and actually reflect on your answers and focus on the questions which have to be raised with the students during the lecture. As we found out, this basically increases the success rate of passing the exam overall, plus helps students with their revision, plus helps them to actually acquire the knowledge they get from the lecture to their own mind and to their own perception.